I don't know if this iPhone is waterproof. I don't think it is, but we're going into the water because it is so glorious. Look how clear, it's crystal clear, and it's like the perfect temperature, and I just love it so much. So the sun is rising, and I've just been in this water meditating and singing and speaking my reality into existence. And it feels so delicious. And the water's just like this perfect temperature. Today it's actually a little warmer than usual. It's still cool. It's not like warm, but it's like a little cooler than warm. I don't know. How do you explain a temperature? But yeah, it feels amazing. And this is one of my homes in Greece. We've been living at this campground called Grameno Camping, and you can see, well, I mean, you can't see, I can't, my other hand is now wet, so I can't, maybe I can. Here we go. So that's their little beach over there with the umbrellas. This is a thing in Europe, or at least in Greece and Italy, you go and pay for an umbrella and a chair to sit in on the beach. And I've not ever yet done that in Italy or Greece. Maybe someday I'll pay for a chair and an umbrella, but I'd rather just sit in the sand. And then you see all these greenhouses. There's a lot of, this is like kind of a rural farming area. So they grow a lot of the food, I assume, for Crete here. The produce is delicious. So we're facing this way. Italy is that way, I believe, maybe a little farther that way. And then there's the inlet to this beautiful little bay. And if we face this way, we're facing Libya, which I'm kind of fascinated by Libya. Here, let me turn the camera around. I'm gonna have to. Okay, yes, I'm naked. I'm skinny dipping, my morning skinny dip in the sun. So good. I've become fascinated by Libya because I saw this old map a while ago and it said Italian Libya, because I guess Italy was in control of Libya for a while. I don't know, like earlier in this century, or maybe even before that, I don't fucking know. But when I was sitting out here at the other beach where you can just look straight out into the sea, and I was like, what's directly in front of me? And it's Libya, and it borders on Egypt. So Egypt is also like, well, that way. But yeah, I'm kind of like low-key obsessed with Libya now. I think I need to go to Libya. And there's like the capital of Libya is Tripoli, which is related to, I mean, sounds very Italian, Latin, Greek. Yeah, there's so much of the world to see and explore, and there's so much to learn, and I am insanely curious. And this has always been a challenge for me of trying to focus on anything because I'm insanely curious. I want to know about everything. I want to learn everything. And that, it turns out that's related probably to my Gemini midheaven, which in astrology, your midheaven is kind of your career flavor. And so apparently Gemini midheaven is not meant to focus on any one thing. It's supposed to follow what lights it up and its passions and its curiosities and have a million notebooks, which I've always had a million notebooks, especially the last few years. I literally brought at least 10 notebooks with me of different sizes and shapes, and I've kind of locked into my favorite size and notebook, and I think I have one blank one left. But I digress because that's what I do. I digress. I have diversion excursions. So yeah, I need to go to Libya. And I need to go to Morocco, and I want to go to Croatia and Albania. I want to go all the places. I really do want to go all the places. I just have that drive. And one of my best friends, one of my closest long-term friends, she doesn't have a desire. She hates traveling. She has no desire to travel, which I just don't understand. I'm also a Sagittarius moon. So I'm just like, how, like, I don't understand how you don't have the urge to just go everywhere in the world. because I definitely have that urge, and it feels so good. It feels so good to finally be traveling, but connected to my purpose and to my girls, because when I traveled before as nomadic from 2011 to 2013, and it was fun, and I had an amazing time, and it was amazing and beautiful, but it wasn't fulfilling. Like I could feel, I was like, oh, like this isn't it. This isn't fulfilling. And at the time I didn't have children, which did give me a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Not that I wasn't seeking to have children. Like I was fine not having children, but it's definitely, having kids gave me a sense of fulfillment and purpose that I didn't have before. Like I don't feel that emptiness anymore of like, oh, like I don't have a purpose, or I feel unfulfilled. I don't have that. Now I have to deal with having children, which is a whole other thing. You know, it's a lot, and it brings up your deepest, darkest shit, and it's exhausting on a lot of levels, and it's super fucking magical, and it's just, it feels so good to be living my authentic life with my daughters, which is what I always wanted. I wanted to travel with my family. So I have part of my family, like not less than, more than half, because I only want one partner, but the partner's coming, and so it feels so good to be traveling, but then also being connected now to my service, of being of service in the spiritual realms, which I was always terrified of. And there's more coming that I still haven't fully stepped into, because it's the scariest. Your dreams, like your deepest dreams and your deepest soul purpose, are the things that terrify you the most. And I'm feeling like the terror rising. And it's like I can deal with terror, and the terror is so much less than it used to be. Okay, so what's your biggest fear in life? Is it speaking in front of other people? Is it singing in front of other people, like mine was for most of my life? It's interesting to think about the things that scare you the most in life, and those are most likely related somehow to your purpose and your work, if you're traumatized like I am. So singing and music are definitely part of what I'm here for, which it seems so obvious, like looking back at my life, it's like, well, of course music is part of your life. Of course writing is part of your life. Of course travel is part of your life. Of course dance is part of your life. But when it all starts to come together, it's like, it's so obvious, it's almost painful, but it's also just like nothing you ever thought was possible or could have imagined. I don't know, it's crazy. Life is crazy. It's fun. It's crazy. It's really fucking crazy. And the root of the word crazy means to be cracked. And it's where the light comes in and where the light goes out is through the cracks. And I hope I'm not showing too much here, because this water is pretty clear and I don't really have a good sense. I already made this mistake the other day on a call with a friend when I was like, oh, I guess you're seeing my boobs right now, aren't you? But yeah, what are you most afraid of? Like, what are you most terrified of? And what do you long for the most? Like, what have been your greatest dreams that you've been carrying? And, you know, for those of us in our midlife, or however, whatever part of life we are, because we don't know how long our life is going to be, so we don't even know where the middle is. Maybe I'm at the end of my life. Maybe I die tomorrow. Like, maybe you die tomorrow. So fucking live your dreams. Do the things that you want to do. Get in the Mediterranean and get on your iPhone and make a video. I forgot what I was saying. ADD. I really totally lost the train of thought there. Oh yeah, what have you been wanting to do for your entire life? Have you been wanting to live in Greece for the last 25 years? Just fucking go do it. Have you been, whatever it is that you want to do, have you been wanting to write a play? Have you been wanting to open, start taking in dogs and fostering dogs? Have you been wanting to, I don't know. Those are the only two examples I can think of, because those are two of my friends' dreams. Which it's funny too to ask your friends what their dreams are, because we assume that everybody has the same dreams as we do because we just think like, yeah, doesn't everybody want that? No, not everybody wants the things that you do. The things that you want are specific to you. That's like your destiny. I think it's your dreams, and I'm talking about like your waking dreams, are like future memories of what you're here to do, be, have, experience, all of these things. And so it's like, what are your dreams? And they're meaningful, they're important, they're why you're fucking here, I think, is my opinion. At least this is why I'm here. I'm here to be in Greece in the Mediterranean, floating in this beautiful water. I hope you can feel the energy that I'm sending. All right, so this is our last day here in this water on this beach. We've been here for almost a month. And today we go to do some woofing. Well, it's not really work. I don't know if it's woofing technically because it's not a farm, but it's like a work trade situation, living situation, room and board in exchange for work. And it's actually with some friends that became friends because they didn't have any availability, but they had 2 kids, daughters that were the same age as my daughters. But anyways, we're going to go live with them for a few weeks and work with them on renovating their Greek ruin. Like they bought an old Greek ruin and they're renovating it and they're living in it, and it's beautiful and amazing, and they're amazing people. So we're going to go do that, and yay! I love you. I hope you are following your dreams or tuning into your dreams and starting to follow them and just making your life a masterpiece, like your own crazy, beautiful masterpiece.